Green Project Management Global, GPM Global. It's an organization of a social enterprise kind, established in the United States in 2009, and now obviously with a global reach and global activities. It is engaged and invested in developing methods and tools and frameworks and all the support offer primarily for sustainability in project management, but not only, as we shall see, it extends its interest outside of projects. So GPM offers us something we might call a complete project sustainability ecosystem. And the foundation of that sustainability ecosystem is the P5 standard. A P5 standard, we will work extensively on this standard today. That's our focal point today. This is an environment mapping tool, a matrix that allows us to look for all possible project environment impacts. So the environment mapping tool. But also next to that, you have the project management method, or rather a component. You can see it as a method of its own, but it is best if it is integrated with the existing project management methods. It is called Projects Integrating Sustainable Methods. We'll come back to this in the end of the training. I was thinking about the training. We come back to this in the end of the webinar. There are trainings available and certification available for PRISM method. Then there is PSM3, Project Program Portfolio Sustainability Maturity Assessment framework. So we can assess the sustainability maturity of organizations in terms of project management. And there is a framework for the PMO activities, project management offices. So supporting the integration of sustainability in PMO activities, PMO offerings. Add to this GPM 360, so that is project certification. Project certification, where a consultant comes and supports the assessment of a single project, and throughout that process, the final documentation is then assessed by Green Project Management Global to certify a project. And there are also university programs, so the partnerships between GPM Global and the university, the academic sector. And this interesting picture shows us exactly that. We can look at sustainability drivers. So what drives sustainability for organizations? At the basic level, I think there's that intention of crisis management, crisis avoidance. You know, no major organization wants to be involved in any major mishap. Without mentioning any names, there have been over the last decade several maritime disasters, certain aviation disasters, and many others. So that kind of events is extremely detrimental to any business, and that is why this basic motivation would be to avoid, minimize the potential of a major event, of a major crisis, and if it happens, to manage it then, right? So that would be the very basic motivation. And then secondly, we've got the regulatory compliance. The law demands certain modifications and certain behaviors and a certain, well, very, very high degree of transparency in the domain of sustainability. So the organizations also have to respond to this. And then we can look further and deeper for those sustainability drivers. you would have the resource optimization next, I guess, because any possibility of reusing any resource is valuable, isn't it? It's like a resource can be used many times, so it doesn't have to be purchased many times, and we will have plenty of other resource optimization cases. And then already going more towards the value set, it's more something that we want to do rather than we have to do. That will be market differentiation. So now very many organizations differentiate themselves from others by saying, we going towards sustainability. Our products are sustainable. Our brand is underpinned by sustainability. And if we can prove that 80%, 90%, or a good deal of any product that we deliver to the market is sustainable because of the materials or because of production methods that are sustainable, this is a market differentiator. And lastly, there's the purpose. The purpose, this is really in the value set, in the intention. There's this intention to contribute to our planet, not to overuse it, and to assure the coming generations, the availability of resources that we all need. So you'll see those three arrows. The red arrow is more at the level of risk mitigation, brand protection. That's the driver, risk mitigation, brand protection. Then coming already to resource optimization, we're talking about productivity. And lastly, the purpose should translate itself to growth. We can also have a look at the measures, and on the left, it's more environmental measures, in the middle, more economical measures, and lastly, more social measures. And at the bottom, you can see, I have to move the bar, the lenses through which you can observe the organization environment. The lenses may be, well, the culture, the business strategy, the change framework with portfolios, programs, projects, and at the lowest possible level, we've got the operations. I really do appreciate this picture because it lets me, for myself, it lets me identify the kind of a motivation that an organization may have for sustainability, whether it's more on the compliance side, more on the left, or is it more on the purpose side, more on the right, but all of these aspects, well, they're basically justified. There is no doubt about it, but there's a certain development on the level of integration, a certain development going from left to right, and some organizations may do it because they want to manage their risks, and some organizations are already purpose driven. But at a lower level, project sustainability has been by far and large ignored until recently, for sure. And that is because the existing standards, methods did not really focus or include the sustainability tools, methods, or ways to measure a project sustainability. And as I noted a minute ago, with the new versions of PMBOK and Prince2, this is changing, and there's a very positive change. But it's only now with the most recent versions of the existing methods. So we need to agree that identifying the environmental impacts of projects may be difficult, may be challenging. Fully agree. And to make it easier, and also to define those impacts in a methodical and a standardized way, we need some kind of tools. And the idea is to have standardized tools allowing us for comparison between projects within an organizational or a project ecosystem, right? So we're looking for a standard. We're looking for standardized method, standardized way to look for, establish, and then discuss those different project impacts. And here comes the P5 ontology. That's a standard put forward by GPM. It's called a P5. It's an environmental impact matrix. Let's have a brief word about the roots of it. I'm pretty sure that in terms of projects, everybody's familiar with the traditional project parameters. We've been always talking about the project scope, quality, time, cost. That is what gives you that traditional project management golden triangle. Or somebody also calls it devil's triangle, but I would keep the devil out of it. So that's the traditional project management set of parameters: scope, quality, time, and cost. But then there was an interesting publication a really long time ago in 1994, a book by John Elkington entitled, quite interestingly, Cannibals with Forks. Are we cannibals with forks? Well, so in that book, John Elkington put forward a kind of a different set of parameters that might be combined with the traditional project parameters. And his proposition was for integrating profit, people, and planet in the project or activity parameter set. And with this, we get to an interesting picture. Starting point, the traditional project management triangle. 4 parameters, and originally even quality wasn't there. So a triangle with 3 parameters: scope, time, and cost, and later on quality was added. So that's the traditional project management. Now, if we try to expand our perspective, of course, we keep the basic parameters. The original triangle is always there. There's no doubt about it. But we may consider quite a few other elements if we want to have a more complete picture of project dynamics and project environmental impact. So we can look as well at risks and benefits. And here you see Prince2, original set of parameters, not 4, but 6. Prince2 always added risks and benefits to that original set. We can look at the value delivered with a project, with a product or a service. But then we look at the 3 P words: people, planet, prosperity. And that already extends our environment. We go out of the narrow project focus. We look around. We look for other elements of the project environment: the planet, the prosperity, and the people. And then the external circle, external ring, brings our focus to the products delivered by the project and the processes used by the project. So P5 stands for product, process, people, planet, and prosperity. And in that way, the triple bottom line, as it was called, the 3 Ps, is integrated in the sustainability considerations for any projects, together with the traditional project parameters, of course. But then we also need to consider the product delivered and the delivery processes. And the GPM P5 standard is now available in the version 3.0, the new version. I think it appeared last year as well. And the previous version 2.0 is still available, still in use. And a better aspect of it is that it is translated into quite a few languages, including Dutch and French and I think Portuguese as well, so Polish. So it is useful to have a look at both, and also it is useful to have a look at the 2 of these to see the differences, the development between the version 2.0 and 3.0. So of course, these documents are available from me, from Wouter. We can share it, and we'll discuss the ways to go about them a bit later. There you see the P5 matrix. Is it clear and perfectly readable for everybody? This picture?
For me, it is.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yes? I'm asking because one of the developments is that they added the little pictures in the boxes. So the words in the boxes have become quite small, and we have to look at them now carefully. So you see that round model has been translated into a matrix. The round model has been translated into a matrix. And in that matrix, well, we see the project, and then we see some lenses. We see product lenses, and we see process lenses. The product lenses are the product lifespan. And the second one is product servicing. For the process lenses, we can see efficiency, effectiveness, and fairness of the project work, because here we are in the project processes. So project processes are about how the project is run, how the project is managed. Product lenses are about the product being delivered, and especially about its lifespan and about servicing, probably after the product delivery. So we've got that level, the red level, that's the project and the two lenses. And below, you see three major domains, major categories of project impact, simply. There is the people impact, there are planet impact, and there are prosperity impact. Three major categories, right? And you see the 5 Ps: product, process, people, planet, prosperity. Now, there is a certain interesting mechanics of the matrix, because within the matrix, you see those three colored domains, orange, green, blue, and you see the categories, and you see the subcategories. So in people impact category, you see 4 subcategories, and they are labor practices and decent work, society and customers, human rights, ethical behavior. Then in the planet impacts, you see transport, energy, land, air, and water, and consumption. And the prosperity impacts, you see project feasibility, business agility, market and economic stimulation. So that's the subcategories. And in every subcategory, you see a number of elements. So for example, in labor practices and decent work, you see employment and staffing, labor management relations, project health and safety, training and qualifications. Can go to transport subcategory, the first in the planet impact. So you see transport, and there you see local procurement, digital communication, traveling and commuting, and logistics. And we can have a look at every other element in every other subcategory, and that gives us the complete matrix. So the mechanics of the matrix is that we will look at the project impact through a lens looking at a category. So we can ask the question, I think I've got an example of a question. We can ask the question, what is the product impact in its lifespan on the employment and staffing? What is the servicing impact of the product on sustainable procurement and contracts? So the dynamics of the matrix is that we look through every lens at every category and subcategory and an element. Element being the smallest box in every domain. So it's kind of a cross-cutting analysis, looking through every lens at every possible project impact. Right. So you see how extensive and how deep it can become if it is taken that deep. Right. So the map is very comprehensive. Yeah. The ontology, the matrix is very comprehensive, and it allows you for really deep insights into project sustainability.